everyone, this is Aries Moon Girl and we're keeping this series running. Today we're gonna talk about a different Sun Moon Rising combination. Excuse the noise, but it's just a very hot muggy day, so I have to have the balcony door open. I hope you guys can hear me well. And today we're gonna focus on Gemini Sun, Taurus Moon and Leo Rising. This comes as a request from another loyal subscriber of the channel that always comments, Gemini Mind. And this is gonna be an interesting one. This is gonna be a fun one, fun combination. Before I go into anything, I have my own analogy of how you can look at rising versus moon versus sun, and I have this idea of receiving a nice package gift. So the first impression, the first interaction with the gift is that rising sign. So the wrapping is how you come across to other people, how you come across in their interaction, and how your rising sign plays in your chart. If you were to open the gift, that's actually what the gift is, and let's say it's a watch, so that's your sun sign personality. So your sun sign is how you would define yourself most, because sun is one of the most influential powers on this earth. We notice that influence more than anything, and we define ourselves based on the sun. But if you were to open the watch and if you were to look into the subconscious of a person, if you were to look into the mechanism, then you would find the moon. So the moon is that subconscious mind, the instinctual reactions, what makes us tick, how we automatically act in our closest environments, how we act without thinking. And if you think of it, usually the biggest influence, so in Vedic astrology they consider the moon to be the most important part of a horoscope, because the moon changes signs so much more often. So you know, like the closeness of it to us and the impact of it is a lot more direct and a lot more mundane in our daily lives. But taking into account that the moon only reflects that power of the sun, the Western astrology mostly focuses on what shines brighter, on what, you know, like is more impactful in its expression, and that is the sun sign in this case. So Gemini mind, I have one first hint for you, maybe interesting as a Gemini. The mind is the moon sign, so in this case you could call yourself Taurus mind because that's your subconscious mind, that's a subconscious being, that's how you think instinctually, although you may act very Gemini. But before going into this, let's start with the Gemini sign. Let's start with the sun. So Gemini is a very, very fun sign. If you haven't seen my Gemini video, have a look at it. I think it's very accurate, and I'm talking about some things there that many people don't know about Gemini. But Gemini is a sign, is a mobile sign. That's why I relate to it so well. I have many friends that are Gemini. And it's a sign that thinks a lot, thinks fast, thinks, you know, like it's really witty, really quick, sees analogies everywhere. It's really fun to be around, because, you know, like it like jumps like a child from one thing to the other, and also kind of is the first sign that brings in knowledge. So until then we have the other baby signs, Aries and Taurus, but the Gemini sign, like, you know, like for the first time we're bringing in knowledge, and we're bringing in knowledge about our neighbors, what we noticed, how funny they are doing this and that, knowledge about our sister that's doing this funny thing, you know, like, and we're making fun of that information that we're finally collecting through the first sign of the zodiac. So Gemini is really observant. It's like, ooh, radar, this is what's going on. I'm gonna notice this, notice that, mention this, mention that. bring it into connection and usually make a joke about it, because that's the fun part of Geminis. But they can be so funny just because they notice all these things. If you don't notice them, you cannot be funny if you're blocked in your world. So Gemini is really playful. Gemini is in the search of knowledge also. This is where I talk in my video, and I say about a side of Gemini that people don't know, that they are in the search of spirituality as well, because usually they notice at one point, I'm really good at this observation game, I'm really good at making everyone laugh, I'm really good at being likable, and they all believe me, they all laugh with me. But is there more to life than this? Is there more to life than everyone liking me? Is there more to life than just being really funny and really witty and smart? So this is where Gemini kind of plays along. They usually are a sign that does really well in society, I would say, but at the same time, sometimes that same society, because this is with mobile signs, because we adapt to what the environment wants us to adapt to, that society is what kind of burdens them, and this is where they kind of go in that search for deeper meaning, because they noticed, okay, I can play this game, I can notice these things, I can do all of this, but what's next? So this is Gemini. It's a funny, playful, creative sun placement. So already I can see creativity in you. Already I can see that you can write really well, that you can, like make these analogies, you can speak well, and all of this. But then what happens if you bring them? No, let's talk first about the rising. If you bring the rising into Leo, Leo is the sign of self-expression. Leo is the sign of dignity. Leo is the sign of acknowledgement. Leo shines bright like the sun, because we've been talking about the sun a lot. So how you come across in your funny, witty, likable Gemini self gets only amplified through the magnifying lens of a Leo rising. So you seem a lot more bold, colorful, creative, funny. So it all just amplifies, and you get a lot more acknowledgement for it, and you're proud of it. Like the Leo rising is really proud and wants to come across, wants to kind of magnify whatever the sun sign tells you, and the moon sign. So the first impression is that you're a very colorful, funny, nice to be around, strong presence. So you how do I say this? You come across not cocky, but you come across, like, because you can be so funny, and because that Leo gives you the kick, you're like, okay, I'm gonna have a dig at you, I dig at you, and I'm gonna get along with everyone still, because my personality is really, really likable. So no one is gonna mind this, because through the Leo power, delivering the Gemini message is gonna be even more impactful, and I'm gonna have a play with it. I'm gonna have fun with it. And this is what you do. You have fun with this. Leo and Gemini just have fun. That's what they want to do. That the having fun is and it's an important part. And once you do this, once you make your jokes and all of this, you get a bit serious, and you're like, okay, let's create something amazing, because I feel the need to create. And this is where all your signs play a role, but we draw it back to your moon sign. So the moon sign is our mental state, our subconscious mind, our stability, what makes us happy, what makes us productive, what we enjoy, what we naturally, instinctively are drawn to. So moon is exalted in Taurus. It's exalted in Taurus because there it finds the stability that it needs to, it finds that grounding of emotions. It's not fluctuating anymore, it's not losing its emotions, it's not going towards the negative side. It's just like, okay, stable, calm emotions. I had a very funny comment from someone on my Venus in Taurus video, and they were commenting like, yeah, I have Sun and Venus in Taurus. Sometimes I just pacify myself, or like I relax myself on my own, because I cannot find a better relaxation than myself, or something like that. And it was like, yeah, it's like my own personality is like something like a warm blanket or something like that. I found it really funny. But that's how Taurus is. It's like, I'm not reliant on you to keep my mental state positive. I'm reliant on my own stability and my own habits and my own beautiful inner nature. Many people don't know this about Taurus, but Taurus is somehow funny as well. It's not a funny thing. It's a more like, you know, that smile that you have all day, that calm, peace smile. That's how I see a Taurus moon, you know, like innerly a peaceful smile within. The thing is, your Gemini mind walks really fast. It analyzes and all of this, and sometimes Gemini can get lost exactly because of this. And if you have Gemini and let's say a Pisces moon, you can feel like lost in society and lost of this. But with a Gemini mind having that Taurus stable side, it kind of fits well. It kind of like, okay, it lets you be expressive on the outside, but without losing yourself on the inside. So it lets you make those jokes, make those analogies, observe everything, create on the outside, but not lose yourself in the in your own reflection of yourself. This is where, you know, everything is calm. I'm just gonna do a bit more noise on the outside, but when it comes to myself, I'm gonna have inner peace. And sometimes this is a really powerful combination, because you can play with other people a bit, you know, like you can just test them a bit, but you keep your calmness, and while other people might lose theirs. So Venus moon makes you Taurus moon makes you a bit not placid, but you know, like, oh, okay, stable, sweet, and all of this. One thing which you care about, and I have this in a video about Taurus moon, you care about beauty very much. Taurus cares about beauty. Taurus cares about beauty expression. So again, creation in some way. For example, Taurus moons, I've noticed, love music, and they can dive into music, and the same with Pisces moon, but Taurus moon really like melts into music as well. Melts into a nice moment of, I don't know, a nice meal, a nice song that they hear, a relaxful evening, and all of this. So a calm, beautiful environment that has creativity is really important for you, and that Gemini and Leo play along. So I would say that you, with this combination, you kind of need to do something creative. If you're not doing it, I think you're not fulfilling your potential. And there's a lot of momentum from them Gemini to do things creative. So I would, I don't know, maybe be a writer, painter, because Gemini has to do with the hands, and Taurus has to do with beauty. So any type of artistic expressions with your hands, with your voice, through writing, through acting, all of this is really encouraged with such a combination. It's almost a shame not to do it, and you have the inner strength, you know, to carry it through. That's what Taurus has and gives to Gemini, where Gemini is missing that. You have that inner strength to accomplish what your mind, your fast mind as a Gemini wants to put into accomplishment. yeah, so definitely a very playful combination, definitely a very creative combination, an artist soul, very funny at the expense of others, very, very witty, and just loves peace and loves getting along with people, loves, you know, like loves interactions with people, playful, and you know, we're all here on this earth to play. So I think such a combination really understands this and understands the beauty of playing around with others, and of creating for others as well. So this was my interpretation of your combination, Gemini Moon, Gemini Mind. Until next time, I'm Aries Moon Girl. I care about the stars. Look at that sky behind me. But most of all, I care about you. And that's why I do these videos, guys. See you soon.